Ladies and gentlemen, everything is right in the world again because the king of In the Ring is back. Now, unfortunately, I apologize to you guys for being missing for the last 2 weeks, but you know, things happen. Regardless, last week we did not have a Battle of the Brand show, so none of you got to vote. So I'll make the decision for you. Smackdown wins. But it's time to find out who has what it takes this week, as In the Ring starts now. Welcome back to our In the Ring WWE Battle of the Brands review show, where you guys vote on which brand had the better show for the week. I'm your host, Rich Diaz. Now let's talk wrestling. It's time for Battle of the Brands. What was the purpose of creating the Universal title? Was it a championship just to pass around between one part-timer to another, people who won't be on TV? On Monday, Finn Balor and Seth Rollins both laid claim to wanting a title shot from Brock Lesnar for this said Universal title. Dean Ambrose then comes out and puts the Jedi mind trick and says, "Oh no, you want a shot at this Intercontinental title to try to make us forget about the Universal title." The point being here is that if you were going to create a championship that was never going to be defended regularly, why did you create it in the first place? You could have just had Randy Orton right now bouncing between both shows. That's what would have made the most sense here. Even though that the Hardy Boys and Sheamus and Cesaro clearly show signs that their feud isn't over, we're gonna have a tag team Turmoil match because Goldust and R-Truth won a tag team title match despite the fact that the last time they won any match of any kind, I think, Goldust's daddy was still alive. I know that was very insensitive. Does Sheamus and Cesaro participate in this match? Are these just a match to set up for a future #1 contender? I don't know, and it's getting on my nerves and it's confusing all of us. Hey, you remember the Superstar Shakeup was gonna make everything fresh again between all the brands? They should have just called it the SOS. Same old shenanigans. Because The Miz is now the #1 contender to face Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. You know, the feud that was on Smackdown not that long ago is now on Raw. So why did you switch brands? Why, if you had a shakeup, the two guys that you moved from Smackdown are the two guys feuding with each other? This makes no sense. Regardless of the fact, I honestly do wish that Miz beats Ambrose for the title here because Ambrose, I'm sorry, you don't have it anymore. Now let's move on to SmackDown Live. Do you know that Sami Zayn has not won one single match since the Superstar Shakeup sent him over to SmackDown Live? Now, Tuesday's loss to Jinder Mahal makes sense because Jinder Mahal is the #1 contender to the WWE World Championship, the top title on SmackDown, so you can't have him beating just any random loser because how do you make him look strong contender for Randy Orton? Point being here is that Vince McMahon just has no faith in poor Sami Zayn, and it looks like, I don't know, maybe we could call it now, down the road, we could see a Sami Zayn heel turn where he aligns himself with Kevin Owens as the new Faces of America or something. Because honestly, despite whatever you may think, he's also probably going to lose to Baron Corbin at Backlash. Shinsuke Nakamura will be the headlining attraction at the SmackDown-only pay-per-view Backlash on the 21st of this month. Very, very smart move. No, I'm not being sarcastic. Shinsuke Nakamura should be the top babyface, the top act on the SmackDown brand. No disrespect to AJ Styles or Randy Orton, the champion. But despite the block that he has with trying to do promos and communicate with the crowd, he's a once-in-a-lifetime performer in terms of charisma. So this is very smart on Vince's part because he's going to now give us the opportunity to get behind the guy that we want to get behind, and he's giving us the platform to do it. Kevin Owens is once again the United States champion and destroys Chris Jericho, possibly giving him a kayfabe neck injury. So this explains why Chris Jericho will be leaving WWE television to go tour with Fozzy starting this Friday. Now, it was a great match. I say that out of the three that they had at Mania, Payback, and this past Tuesday was the second best with Payback being first. The Mania match was horrible. I like the fact that Kevin Owens is looking more and more like a stronger heel. He deserves a longer run with the US title. I know, yes, that means that he would have to beat AJ Styles at Backlash, but that makes the most sense right now because Kevin Owens in this role as a prize fighter has always been good, and he's not good unless he has a championship. So which brand had the better show this week? Raw or SmackDown? Cast your vote in the comment section below. Just enter Raw or SmackDown and we reveal which brand had the most votes in next week's segment. Now it's time for my 2 cents. So we know that WWE has been digging up a lot of old pay-per-view names recently with the brand split. They had the return of Backlash, which will be on May 21st. They had the return of No Mercy back last October. This July, they were supposed to bring back Bad Blood, which hasn't been pay-per-view since 2004. And it was supposed to be a Raw-only pay-per-view just like it was back then. All of a sudden, Vince McMahon got the great idea to scrap that in place of, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Vince, What are you doing? People say that you're out of touch. You're proving them right with this. Like now we have to hear Michael Cole say 100 times, Great Balls of Fire. And you know, after the show's over where they have Raw Talk or Smackdown or Talking Smack, what is this going to be called? Balls Deep? Great Balls of Fire. Welcome to 2017 wrestling, people. Be sure to check out our previous video, the 2017 Payback Results Show. A link will be down in the description. Finally, you can show your support by hitting that like and subscribe button now. I'm Rich Diaz. This has been In the Ring, and I will see you next week.